Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we're going to be watching all of the end game top performing Dream Realm team replays. Splash, who is the top ranker of our district, has shared them all with me. And these are definitely the top performing teams currently in the meta. The only one which may... okay, the one which is Alpha Bear for today's Dream Realm boss. This is the best, most consistent and solid team for Alpha Bear, not using Mikola. Some people did testing, they replaced Ludovic for Mikola, and if RNG lined up perfectly, they were able to break the record set by this team we have on screen right now. But it is very RNG dependent, is very inconsistent. A lot of times the team wipes with only 20 seconds left of the battle. So I still think overall the most solid team for Alpha Bear is going to be this Ludovic team without Mikola. But maybe more testing will happen in the future. So this is really the only team not involving Mikola. Other than that, Mikola is in 5 of the 6 Dream Realm endgame teams in the top performing. And the funny thing is, Phraesto, Lily May, who are also top performing Dream Realm heroes, both of them are also in 5 out of 6 of the top performing Dream Realm teams. So basically, if a hero is in 5 or even 4 of the top performing Dream Realm teams, they are a top Dream Realm hero for sure. There are going to be some Dream Realm bosses where heroes just don't work. For example, Stomper, Phraesto is not the best option. Lily May is not the best option. Lone Gaze. But other than that, they are going to be the best option in every other Dream Realm boss. And like Smokey is kind of similar to that because Smokey is not great in Stomper. However, he's great in all of the other Dream Realm bosses. Okay, so we're going to begin by watching the replays. We have Skyclops first of all. We watched them all on 3x speed because there are a lot of replays to go through. So on Arena is controlled by our team with the Mikola. Shakir is great here because he provides the buff to all of the grouped up team in the fun, giving them the attack buff if he's at plus 10 exclusive equipment, also giving the haste buff, damage reduction. Phraestos are dealing a lot of damage because they deal damage proportionate to the enemy's maximum HP, which is good against bosses. And you're getting 2 heroes for the price of 1. Phraesto and his illusion have the same stats. And then Smokey deals a lot of damage with his Mythic Plus ability because he will deal damage per second once he gets his blue aura, or the first time he casts his blue empowered aura. And the haste buff is insane from the team. Shakira, Mikola, and Smokey are all stacking up with haste, giving up to 95, I think, 95 haste to all allies, which is basically like you would be casting your skills twice instead of once, like because you're almost 100% faster skill casting. And also 100% faster attack speed. Haste gives you attack speed and skill casting frequency. Okay, next team we have is King Croaker. Now, this is really interesting because Taylene is basically used as an insta-kill magnet. She is the one who keeps getting insta-killed, and so the Phraesto and his illusion are able to continuously output damage throughout the fight. Lily May can continuously output damage, and Taylene still deals a high amount of damage in this fight, almost 7 billion damage, even by taking all of the insta-kills. And so she is maybe even the best target for being insta-kill because then you don't have to run Thorin here. Normally the previous version of this team was involving Thorin to take some of the insta-kills along with one from Phraesto's illusion. But again, Lily May, the overall best performing damage. You'll look at that haste buff provided by both Mikola and Smokey. Both of that is being applied onto the Lily May. With Mikola, the positioning of your team is very important. You want to have her continuously buffing up your Lily May most importantly, and the Phraesto as well, ideally. Okay, that was King Croaker. Now looking at Necrodrakon, we have Reinier here to increase the damage that the boss receives, because the other options like Shakir and Taylene do not do great. Into Necrodrakon because you want movement based heroes, or you want just more damage output onto the boss, which Reinier is going to provide that. So they're going to control the on arena right from the beginning of the match. Lily May from this position I think is still receiving the buffs of Mikola. Like the true tile radius is still going to reach Lily May in this position, and so her damage output will be very high. And Phraesto and his illusions, they tank out really well, especially in Necrodrakon boss. Survivability can be a little bit of a problem. So having that, the tankiness of Phraestos is really good. So here Mikola died. I thought maybe if Splash did multiple runs, he would be able to out-damage this and maybe Mikola could survive. But he said he did almost all of his runs, almost 20 attempts, and Mikola kept dying. So I think Mikola might always die. at 20 seconds left, but still, she is definitely the best option as a supporter there. So that was Necrodrakon. Now taking a look at Stomper. Again, massive damage output from Lily May, but here, Phraesto is not going to be the best option. Instead, Scarlita is going to be a little bit better. So the main issue why Mikola doesn't improve the damage output of this team as much is she hasn't even cast her Curd Sphere yet. So she's not going to be giving that haste buff to the team up until now, when she can finally cast it. And now Lily May is going to get the advantage of that, and her damage output should be higher. So, but still, Mikola is the best in Stomper. This is the most consistently high scoring team, and it will out damage all other teams currently available. So she still is the best support here. Not only is she a viable healer for Stomper, she is the best in slot hero to be running. Okay, Reinier to increase the damage of boss received, but as you can tell, still Reinier is used in a lot of endgame teams. There are some Dream Realm bosses where it's better to not run Reinier and run Phraesto and other heroes, but overall Reinier is a part of a lot of them. So here is the only Dream Realm boss where Lily May is not going to be the best option. And yeah, so definitely in Lone Gaze, because your team is all grouped up as you can see here. Shakira is going to dominate, giving the buff to all of his allies. And Mikola as well, giving that grouped up haste buff is going to be very valuable. And with the Lone Gaze, survivability can be an issue. Normally the backline hero gets nuked, and even in this fight, the Reinier in the back gets nuked with 35 seconds left on the clock. This gives the wolf boss a bonus, like, tankiness buff. He gains physical and magical defense after killing an enemy or killing one of your allies. So, but still, the damage output, 50.5 billion damage. And this is the top performing team. Yeah, so this is again going to be the top team. Because all of the team was grouped up, Shakira and Mikola are going to be doing the best. And finally, now we have the Alpha Bear team. With testing, Mikola can be better here rather than the Ludovic, with multiple runs, but for a consistent high scoring team, this is going to be the best option. And even I think this team can get up to 52 or 53 billion damage, and some people with the Mikola instead of Ludovic manage to get over 55 billion damage. So yeah, but the consistency is an issue, because maybe even with all of your 20 runs with the Mikola team, you wouldn't be able to even get a high score. So you're still going to want to try to go for this team and at least do one solid run of this, and then if you want, you can try to go for higher scores. But the Alpha Bear is really the boss which has the most kill threat onto your team, and AoE kill threat, killing everyone. Lone Gaze mainly will only nuke the backline most hero, like the Reinier in that case, but then you're all buffed up with the damage reduction from Shakira and Mikola, that, or Shakira mainly, that it is not, Lone Gaze is not an issue with the survivability as much. So here, 52.5 billion damage with this team, and the team survived throughout. So that is a safe option. Ludovic generally will be just better for the Alpha Bear. So overall, if we're going to evaluate everything, I want to count up how many times the heroes were used. So Lily May, 5 out of 6 Dream Realm bosses. Phraesto, 5 out of 6 Dream Realm bosses. Mikola, 5 out of 6. If you're not including the final one. Otherwise, if you're including Mikola here for Alpha Bear, it would be 6 out of 6. And then we have Smokey. I think Smokey was in 5 out of the 6 teams if we take a look. Because even in Necrodrakon, the new top performing team with Mikola is using Smokey and having Reinier position swap the Smokey at the beginning of the fight. Definitely for King Croaker, Smokey is the best option. So I think the only place where Smokey is not going to be used is Stomper, so 5 out of 6 he is going to be used for. And then the final slot, Shakira was used in the Alpha Bear team. He was used in... No, he wasn't using Alpha Bear. He was using Lone Gaze. In Alpha Bear, Ludovic, Coco. So for the endgame teams, Coco has pretty much been replaced. Even for Lone Gaze, Coco is not used. But in Alpha Bear, she is. Now, when we're talking about pre-endless boss mode, like in the early part of a new season, Coco is going to be a more key part for that damage reduction for survivability. But for endless bosses, the survivability is not really an issue other than for Alpha Bear. And that is why she's only really needed, or Ascension, Alpha Bear, maybe Lone Gaze as well. Scarlita has been used in a couple teams. I want to count up Reinier. So Reinier was the best option for Stomper. For the lone gaze, he was also the best option. He was not on the best team for Alpha Bear, so lone gaze, Snow Stomper, Necrodrakon as well, he was the best option. Croaker, and Skyclops, he was not. So 3 out of the 6 Dream Realm bosses, endgame top performing teams currently are using Reinier, but 5 out of 6 are using Phraesto. So there is a bit of an argument, should a new player now begin building up Phraesto first or Reinier first? I don't know. The thing is, Reinier can work into a lot of teams, and before you have these endgame teams, maybe even early parts of the season, Reinier can work like well with Lily May, Marilee, Corin, Odie, who you'll naturally be building up. However, Phraesto is a very dominating force in the Dream Realm, and I could definitely imagine like people now who would just pass on Reinier going for Phraesto. For your top scoring teams, eventually you need to have both of them if you want to get these top endgame teams. And yeah, so I don't know, I can't really give advice on which one to go for, but I can understand if someone wanted to go for Phraesto first rather than Reinier. I could understand that position, or if they want to stick to Reinier first, I can understand that too. If you want to go for Scarlita, I can even understand that if you're PvP oriented and you don't care as much about Dream Realm ranking, because Scarlita was only used in one of the top performing teams out of all of the 6 Dream Realm bosses, I think. Right, Snow Stomper? She wasn't using Alpha Bear, was she? No, she wasn't using Alpha Bear. Okay, so hopefully this video gave you guys an idea of which heroes to shoot for and invest into for a Dream Realm. But it really comes down to those final 4 heroes, maybe 5. Phraesto, Lily May, Smokey, Mikola. These are the top 4 Dream Realm heroes. They're using 5 out of the 6 Dream Realm bosses each to maximize your score, and Reinier is pretty much the 5th one, because 3 of the Dream Realm bosses do use Reinier. Some of them use Shakir instead. Things like that. But yeah, that is really what it all comes down to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and you can re-watch these replays if you want to see the exact formation of these teams, because if you just pause it right at the beginning of the match, you'll be able to see the formation. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.